In this video we're focusing on the torque roll. I will be kicking off with the fundamentals, but stick around to the end because I will be showing you some advanced strategies for mastering the torque roll on windy days. The torque roll, when executed close to the ground, is a true crowd pleaser. Picture this: your airplane hangs on its propeller, perfectly vertical, at a constant altitude, while the engine's torque guides it into a leftward rotation. Now, you may be thinking that it's somewhat similar to a hover, and you'd be right. The key difference is that in a hover, the airplane isn't fully vertical, so the engine's torque doesn't induce rotation. In the torque roll though, the plane stands completely vertical. Before you dive headfirst into the torque roll, make sure you are comfortable with the hover. If you haven't mastered hovering yet, I have a dedicated tutorial that you should check out. Entering a torque roll is similar to starting a hover. The trick is to keep the plane completely vertical. If your plane doesn't begin its roll promptly, chances are it's not perfectly vertical. In calm wind conditions, torque rolls can be extremely stable, requiring just a delicate touch to maintain. In fact, there may be moments where you can briefly let go of the controls, and your plane will stay put. So, when you find yourself fighting the controls too much, it's a sign you might be over-controlling. In a pure torque roll, ailerons aren't typically used. However, if you want to adjust the rotation speed, you can introduce left aileron to speed it up, or right aileron to slow it down, or even halt the rotation. Once you've mastered hovering, the torque roll won't feel drastically different. The main challenge is nailing those rudder inputs while staring at the plane's belly. Practice is your best ally here. Over time, your muscle memory will take over and you won't have to think about steering in the right direction. But until then, here's the tip. When the plane is belly up, apply rudder to the wing that is falling down. Now, let's talk about the torque roll in less than ideal windy conditions. There are two approaches here. The simpler one is to let the wind carry your plane around. Perform the torque roll as usual, but be mindful of the wind's direction. Aim to keep your maneuver path centered in front of you. So if the wind is blowing from the right, start farther right than you would usually do, taking into account that the wind will blow it towards the left. If the wind isn't too strong, there is another but much more challenging approach. Position your plane right in front of you, then tilt it slightly out of the vertical into the wind. This should be just enough to counteract the wind's push. Now engage full left aileron to initiate the rotation and work hard with rudder and elevator to maintain the plane's angle relative to the vertical. Think of this as a blend of a hover and a rolling harrier. This might not be a textbook torque roll, but it's a valuable variation, especially when precise placement is crucial, like in a demo show or a freestyle routine, where you cannot afford to have the wind move your plane around. For example, I've seen some top pilots like Gernot Brookman use this variation of the torque roll in his freestyle routines during windy days. I hope this video was useful to you. Let me know in the comments how your torque roll practice is progressing and if you have any questions. Until the next video, happy flying!